Hi, I'm Sydney and welcome back to my Flock and Squawk, and today we are going to be upcycling a basic sweatshirt that I got from the thrift store with some character fabric. So I have some fabric of Batman. I don't know how old it is. I got it secondhand as well, but there's some nice large posed Batman art on here. So I'm going to use this and put it on the sweatshirt as an applique. I'm going to do raw edge applique for it, and I'm going to be using the Wonder Under regular weight paper backed fusible web. So if you don't know, you can basically turn fabric into stickers, and by stickers I mean like iron-on decals using this. So I'm going to fuse this to the fabric, and then we're going to cut out and arrange it on the sweatshirt, press it, and then we can stitch around. I found that you don't really need to sew with this, that it's strong enough of an adhesive on its own, but sewing just makes it way more secure and also finishes up the edges of the fabric a little bit nicer. So let's just go to my work surface right here. I'll rearrange the camera and we will get to creating this unique, one-of-a-kind, upcycled sweatshirt. Here is the Batman fabric. And we are going to try and get some poses. I'm gonna try and get, here we got him, or where he's standing proud. We've got him where he's swinging, and then him looking upwards ready to fight. And it just pretty much repeats those. Oh, here's one with him in the Batarang. Oh, and crouching to fight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this fabric, so press it with the iron, and then we pretty much just press, cut, and then you can press it onto the surface. So I cut a piece just to be about the right size for Batman, and now I'm going to make sure that you can just barely see it. There you have it. This guy's all pressed. He's cool to the touch. You can kind of see, with the blue that there is paper on this side. Now, Batman is essentially a sticker, but we are going to continue doing that for the other poses of Batman on this fabric. And then we will cut them out, put them on the sweatshirt, press them, and yeah, be ready to throw them under the sewing machine. All of my Batman pieces cut out. So now it is time for the fun part, which is laying them out on the sweatshirt to see how we would like them. So I'm going to do them on the front, and I have 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 Batmans and then the logo. So I should be able to just lay them out in a pleasing way and then peel the paper backing and press them. I don't have an iron mat protector. Normally you want to make sure you don't get glue on your iron, and it's not a huge deal. I can get it off, but I think I can just use a piece of muslin and that'll be fine. So let's lay these guys out. So I've decided this is how I want my layout, and I made the mistake of leaving the paper on. So I'm gonna have to carefully take the paper off of the backs of these, and then I can press them. So I pressed it and only some of it seems to be sticking. So I ran to the store and I got some supplies for my forbidden technique. So I got some glue sticks and some glue, Elmer's washable. If you don't know, you can use glue when you sew, just a little dollop, and then cover, press, and it'll set it to your thing. You can use it to get like precision on your seams when you're quilting and stuff. And then it just washes out just fine. You don't have to worry about it being crunchy or anything. The only thing is you want to kind of keep the glue to a minimum just because it'll gum up your needle on your sewing machine or if you're hand sewing. So all you have to do is basically just change out your needle afterwards. So I'm going to use a little glue to help me. Some spots it's stuck, others not really. So a little of this will help, and then definitely have to sew it down because if the adhesive that I used, the double stick for the applique, then it's not really going to last. So I'm going to try out a little bit of the clear glue, a little bit of the glue stick, see what works best. But yeah, basically just make sure it's stuck to the thing. And because this is a little more temporary, I can probably try it on and see the actual placement a little bit better. But yeah, glue time. So I added some glue and I pressed it down a little bit better. And yeah, this is what the design will look like. I'm not... yeah. I think you should hopefully be able to see it. But I got nice Batman. He is fairly well centered. And then yeah, the rest of the design, I feel like it's looking real good. Yeah, I'm gonna look in the mirror and then I'm gonna pick thread and get this stitched down. So I just pulled out some threads and I'm kind of debating what I go with. I have an off-white that would, you know, I feel like it would show up a bit much. Black, you know, it might be fine. It'll blend in a little bit. And then I have like this gray blue, which I also think would be better, like it would blend in perhaps a little more. But then I see this yellow and I'm like, this would be so good. It would be highly contrasting. But like, oh, that would be so nice. Maybe as like an accent, do these two. But I'm thinking that I might consult with Connor on what he kind of thinks, get a second opinion. And if you haven't seen any of my recent videos, I've been working on setting up an online shop so you guys can potentially buy this or other projects that I've made. So if that is finally set up, it's been a work in progress, but I will probably have that linked in the description. Or you can check me out over Instagram, where I will most likely be posting a little bit more about my projects that are available to buy. But right now, like, this is where we're at. It's looking so good. So I'll be back when I have a selection on threads, on what I'm going to use, and then we're going to be stitching. So here it is, the finished sweatshirt. I think it turned out really great. I put it through the wash in the dryer and it came out just perfect. There's a little bit of fraying because it's raw edge applique, and that's always to be expected. And I did fight with my machine a little bit. There were some issues that were popping up, like the bobbin and everything, just tension-wise. But it turned out super cute. And I've never done the satin stitch on my sewing machine, so it isn't the absolute most perfect satin stitch that I've ever seen, but I think it's turned out so amazing. and it's a wonder what you can do with some character fabric and a sweatshirt. It really like brings this like a whole new garment. So yeah, that is this week's project, and I hope to do more of these. Over on my channel you might recognize this shirt because it was a project just, you know, testing out a pattern that I drafted. Also, I've upcycled other sweatshirts before, so I hope you take the time and have a chance to look at those. I hope to have some of these projects available in my shop once I get that set up, so you can follow me to, you know, follow my projects, follow my life, as well as, you know, hopefully see some things before they go into my shop once I get that set up. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and flock and squawk again with me sometime. Bye!